if there is one, but it's been a terrific first 45 minutes. It's been a great afternoon as well. Chelsea started it all off with a 1-0 win against Crystal Palace, and then two games that got underway mid-afternoon, and we're going to hear from some of those involved in those. Let's start down at St Mary's. Southampton in the end well beaten by Manchester City by 3 goals to 1. And afterwards, Pep was under no illusions as to what they've still got to do in this race against Liverpool to win the title.
It's amazing. It's good in terms of result, in terms of playing, because not easy after 100 points what we have done, winning the Community Shield, and win a lot of games. Unfortunately, we lost last two, and we have a rival who at the moment is the best team in Europe or in the world in the top form like is Liverpool. So that's why it's a challenge for us next Thursday, and try to win there. To win there, if you can, you can sustain this position as far as possible to arrive at the end of the season fighting for the title.
Well, those were Pep's thoughts, and what about the new Southampton manager? He's had some ups and downs already, hasn't he? Ralph Hasenhüttl, who just thinks that they've got to keep going.
This match day was not the best for us because all the other teams in our zone have won the game, and we lost Pierre for a few weeks, so the worst thing happened. But I told the guys, head up. Our important period of the season will come in January, February, after this first two games, after Man City and Chelsea. Then the important games are coming for us, and then we have to be prepared.
So Manchester City then getting back to consolidating things, certainly, even though Liverpool have stolen a march at the top of the table. Liverpool with 54, Manchester City now on 47 seconds, 7 points behind ahead of Spurs on 45, Chelsea who won today on 43, and then Arsenal on 38, followed by Manchester United. Down at the bottom, as we've mentioned, it's Huddersfield with 10, Fulham 14, and then Burnley on 15 points, the same as Southampton. Now, Burnley won today by 2-0 against West Ham United. They remain in the bottom three, but manager Sean Dyche isn't about to get too obsessed with where they are in the league.
No, I mean, you don't stare at it every day, because that 1 second after the final whistle of the season, that's when it counts. It's just tit for tat. We can all chat about it all season, but that's when it really counts. So my point is, I'm not obsessed with it. I'm more obsessed with the performance levels and how the team are performing, because over a season that will pay you back, or it should do. If it doesn't, then you hold your hands up. But I think today was a strong sign of where we can perform, how we can perform, and the feel, not just the quality. I thought there was some real good quality today, but the feel of it. There was a real intention to the performance today, and I think that's something we've shown many times over the seasons, that we have that, a relentlessness, if you like, to win a game. And I thought that was on show today. Not just the quality to score a goal, but the quality to defend properly as well.
Sean Dyche with his thoughts against West Ham United with a 2-0 win for Burnley today. He'll be absolutely delighted about that. Burnley have got to go to Huddersfield on Wednesday. Better follow that round the grounds with Ross Williams on kick-off. That's a massive game for both of those sides. Well, that's neatly taking us through here to the second half at Old Trafford. What a first half we've had for you. 4 goals, 3 of them for Manchester United, 2 of them for Paul Pogba, another one for Marcus Rashford, who's had a sparkling first half, but still just a little question mark after Aki scored right at the end of the first half for Bournemouth. Darts to come a little later on. Bullseye with Ray Houghton and Sam Manifest.
Well, Manchester United have only ever lost 1 game with Bournemouth in the Premier League, and that was the 12th of December 2015. We were actually there on TalkSport that evening on the south coast. Junior Stanislas and Josh King scored either side of a Marouane Fellaini strike. The Manchester United team that day included Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, Paddy McNair and Guillermo Varela. Nick Powell came off the bench for United too. Very different now. Only 2 of the Bournemouth 11 actually aren't at the club anymore. Harry Arter, who's on loan at Cardiff City, and Matt Ritchie, who's now at Newcastle United. There has been quite a degree of evolution at Manchester United, not so much at Bournemouth. They have stabilised themselves in the Premier League, and they have probably enough points that they won't be under too much threat, but they are under threat of losing back-to-back games in the Premier League as we get the second half underway, because they're 3-1 down. And I wonder what tactical tweaks Eddie Howe would have made at half-time.
I don't think there'll be many. I think he certainly came here with an attack-minded side. If you look at the personnel that he's got on offer, he's got, the intention was to take the game to Manchester United. But they do look vulnerable, don't they, when they lose possession of the ball with the pace in this Manchester United side. The runners from midfield, in particular Paul Pogba. But as Mark said, at half-time, next goal was going to be vital in this game, if there is one. Certainly. Bournemouth get it, they're well back in it. Man United get it, then you can only see more goals for United.
Well, Manchester United start with De Gea in goal. Young's been booked, he's the right back. Bailly, Lindelof and Shaw are making up the back four. Matic, Herrera and Pogba in midfield. Lingard, Rashford and Martial are going forward. For Bournemouth, they're in white shirts and blue shorts, now shooting towards the Stretford end. A bit topsy-turvy for Manchester United. They don't like to kick that way in the second half. The back three, Cook, Aki and Daniels. The wing backs, Ibe on the right and Rico on the left. Sermon and Stanislas and Brooks in the centre of midfield, with Wilson and King as the two strikers. And Bournemouth are on the attack, away to our left now. Manchester United defending in red shirts and black shorts. And it's going to be Cook who's going to throw this ball in. Again, it's going to be one that's tossed high into the area to try and cause maximum disruption. King runs towards it. It's an easy header for Shaw. Comes out to the edge of the area where Stanislas went to shoot. He was blocked by Lingard, and then Matic charges up. Stanislas trying to get there again. Bailly kicks it clear. And then Rashford trying to race after it, but Aki's going to see it all the way back to Asmir Begovic on the penalty spot, who spins the ball high into the air. Herrera with a header back from whence it came. Pogba hesitated, Aki didn't, and Bournemouth have it back again. This is David Brooks, who did well actually to craft that goal for Nathan Aki.
Good player, and he's really adjusted to Premier League football, isn't it? His first season with the club.
Yep. He's
done very well indeed. I think he'll only get better. The more he gets used to playing at this level, the more comfortable he will become. He's a real asset to this Bournemouth side.
It was pivotal in the game against Brighton the other week.
I'll tell you, and I think Bournemouth have started all right. They started the second half. It's United are the ones that are a little bit flat at the moment.
Rico is speeding away down the left-hand side, trying to chase a long ball, which was played by Daniels. Andrew Sermon has just turned round to Charlie Daniels and said, calm down, that was an unnecessary pass. So Alex Ferguson's just come back from his half-time cup of tea to take his seat in the director's box. Just walked past David Gill, said hello to Ed Woodward. All the dignitaries here today. I saw Brian Robson around earlier, Dennis Irwin here too. Manchester United, I think, enjoying watching the football being produced by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. This is Rico on the near side for Bournemouth in front of their own 18-yard box. Aki gets it back to Begovic. His ball out towards the far side is met by Jordan Ibe. Brings it out of the sky, kills it, tries to send it into Brooks. His ball is not a great one. It's picked up by Pogba, and he's played it out to Martial. Pogba trying to nudge it forward to Lingard. Forward by Shaw. Good tackle by him to keep them on the offensive. Martial takes over into Herrera. Good feet. Tries to send it over the top of the advancing goalkeeper. There was enough from Aki to steer it beyond and behind and away for a corner kick.
My first thought there, was Aki was going to give away a penalty because he didn't see the run there from Herrera. It was one of them ones where you go to clear it and you could mistime it. He stood on his feet very well there and just made a timely interception as Herrera went towards the byline. That came about from a 50-50 between Ibe and Shaw. Shaw wanted it, Ibe didn't, he pulled out of it. Martial with the ball into Herrera, and Aki done brilliantly to clear it over the top of the crossbar.
4 minutes gone at the start of the second half. Corner to Manchester United, which Ashley Young will take in front of the scoreboard end. He swings it towards the far post. Matic with a header. A little deflection takes it wide, and Pogba retrieves it down by the right corner flag now, being trapped by Brooks. Tries to skip his way around him. Brooks eventually gets the tackle in, prods it out for another corner, this time on the other side of the pitch.
Yeah, good pressure from United. This is what you want to do after Bournemouth starting the second half, the better of the two. They've had that half chance there with Herrera, and Aki got a good block in. Now Ashley Young about to take another set play from this right-hand side.
A little cheer goes up from the Manchester United supporters. It will be Young to take it. Rashford is in the centre of the area, so is Matic, and Lindelof, who's made a dart towards the near post. It's over his head, away by Aki. Good firm header away by him, up to Bailly. And Bailly then tries to get Manchester United forward again. Herrera falls over as he goes round Brooks and then tactically fouls Junior Stanislas. Falls back his shirt, he'll get a yellow card, but he knows that because he did it on purpose.
See, I think that's worse than a yellow, but not quite a red. You know what I mean, Sam? It was one of the ones he knew exactly what he was doing there, because they were off and running, weren't they? They got away from him, all came about from a poor touch from Herrera when he came in field, went to ground. You can see there that Stanislas, I think it was, he got away from him, and he had no intention of playing the ball, just grabbed the shirt of the Bournemouth players as he went forward. And there's a shock, he's only got 2 yellow cards this season. And you've got, you were saying earlier, was it
Jefferson Lerma
on 9?
Correct.
And he wasn't even on the team at the start of the season. He took a little while again to start in 11, didn't he?
Yeah, but he's played a lot of games since, and he has got himself very close to the record. If he doesn't play today at all, doesn't come off the bench and picks up a yellow card in his next match, then he'll equal the record held by Igor Stimac. Here's Lingard trying to get the better of Daniels. Daniels tries to hold him off and does that admirably. Begovic then plays it to Aki, and Aki under pressure from Rashford, and he's pushed down on the near side and away for a throw-in. They didn't have any other option, Bournemouth, because of the pressure that Manchester United applied.
Oh, he done brilliant, Rashford. He made up so much ground to put Aki under. Enough pressure to force him into the mistake, putting out for a throw-in.
Pogba's ball into the box. Begovic comes out, tries to win it ahead of Martial, does that, pats it down, gathers it at the second attempt, and it'll be cleared away by the Bosnian away to our right-hand side. But Manchester United, a couple of bits of pressure in the early parts of this second half after Bournemouth have just settled themselves back into the game. Must have got a little bit more chilly on the touchline because Mike Phelan now has wrapped himself not just in a hoodie but in a stadium jacket as well. Here's Rico just trundling down the left. He brings the ball infield, looks for the run of Stanislas, who's being shepherded by Matic away from the penalty area. Back out to the left, and David Brooks, who just drops his shoulder and comes infield, sends it backwards of square to Sermon. Sermon back to the left now and on to Charlie Daniels, and then it's picked up by Rico, who finds Stanislas once again, who looked for the run of Josh King inside the box, who was just on the shoulder of Lindelof and waiting for that delivery.
Yeah, but you see there, see both Wilson and King, they've got to come towards the ball.
Oh, that's good from King. He's chested it away from Lindelof, and then it's ricocheted inside the area, offshore into the air, and David De Gea reacted quickly. Now, King got the ball down, took it beyond the Swede into the area, but couldn't do anything with it when he got there. That's a lovely touch by Pogba. It's an even better ball to Lingard, and he's played through, but the offside flag is up.
It's tight. That's very tight, isn't it? At the opposite end, we've seen King's chest control, trying to get away from Lindelof. He did initially, there was Bailly, came across, played it offshore. Fortunately, with the ricochet, went back to De Gea. But when it was played into midfield, Pogba with a close control, brilliant ball. Oh, and he just half a yard offside there.
That is so tight. Matic, he does ping it forward down the right side and find Rashford. Pogba's moving into the area. Oh, the ball by Rashford wasn't great, but it almost caught out Begovic because he seemed to hook it for a cross, which then seemed to be laser guided towards the goal. It just went over the top and behind for a goal.
He's trying to play that into towards the near post, but Pogba apologised straight away. Just, I think when he tried to curl it in there, because it seemed to come off the outside of his right foot. Great pace to get in behind Aki. He's got his head up. It was a 2v1 situation because Brooks was trying to get back to pick up Martial at the back post. Yep. So he tried to whip it in with a bit of pace. It just got come off the wrong side of his boot and out for a goal kick.
Ole Gunnar Solskjaer sitting rather comfortably inside his dugout now.
You would say though, Sam, wouldn't you? I mean, you've seen them for the last 3 matches that they've played, Cardiff, Huddersfield, and this one. They're still not convincing defensively though, Man United, are they? You know, they going forward, they look a real threat with the pace, as we said, that they've got, and obviously the running ability of Pogba. But when you go to the opposite side of the field, they look like they're going to give up goals.
Ashley Young has sprinted beyond Rico here and tried to bring it out of the sky. It was an ambitious ball from left to right. It was played by Pogba. It was a Hollywood pass. Just couldn't get it under control, Ashley Young, and allowed Rico to come back and defend it. Here's Andrew Sermon for Bournemouth. He tinkers it down the touchline, but it's well beyond Josh King, and it'll be easy for Manchester United to gobble it back up again.
Yeah, well, King went the wrong way there, where all the space was, because Ashley Young was caught out of position, was down this left channel, the right of Manchester United, and he wanted to go into a central position, and Sermon's just going to have a word with him, just to say, look, you've got to run into the areas where there's no Manchester United player, and he put his hands up to apologise. I thought Sermon should have actually played it into Brooks a little bit earlier, but made a great run from midfield.
3-1 Manchester United lead on Talk Sport. 2 goals from Paul Pogba in the game here, and he certainly has made his mark since coming back into the team under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. King dropping deeper to pick up the ball for Bournemouth, who haven't really had too many opportunities in this second half. It's Stanislas out wide, a chance to cross towards Wilson. Ives' delivery was cut out of the near post, and then Pogba immediately pings it forward, looking to get Martial released on the counter-attack, and then Rashford backing him up, races to put Begovic under pressure.
Do you know what? I don't mind that from Pogba, because it was the right ball we played.
Oh, yeah.
He's seen it. I mean, whether we would have been onside or not, I'm not sure, because it looked like he went a little bit early there, Martial, but it was overhit, and Begovic did the right thing there. The keeper coming out there, swept up well for Bournemouth. But you do think there will be more chances as both teams start to tire. There'll be areas so you can affect the game. Every time they look like they can play a ball in behind United, they look like they're going to cause Bournemouth some problems.
Lingard out to Martial, deep inside Bournemouth territory. Young's galloped towards this right-hand side, waiting for a crossfield pass, which comes from Pogba. He takes it first time, brings it back infield, and sends it to onto Herrera. Pogba's continued his run into the box. Herrera goes central. Matic, Shaw, far side now. They've worked it wide again. Martial just trots out towards the far touchline, and then back infield. Matic, Shaw. Manchester United not having to be urgent here. They know they lead by 3 goals to 1. Back to Herrera. Everyone in Bournemouth white and blue behind the ball as United come forward again.
See how much more difficult it is for United to break through when Bournemouth get the starting positions right and there's no space to run into, or there's no runners, you know, so all they're doing is passing in front. They're being patient. They're waiting for the Bournemouth player to make a mistake, and then they'll punish him.
Martial, lovely bit of skill, moves in towards the penalty area, gets to the byline, but just took it out over on the far side before he produced the cross into the box, which meant that there was a goal kick given. Just overran the ball. Doesn't get what he desired, but Herrera gets what he desires. He nobbles Daniels and takes it away from him. But the referee deemed that that was too aggressive from Onda Herrera.
Yeah, he just when he played the ball, I think he just clipped the heels of Charlie Daniels there. A little bit fortunate, wasn't he? Because Charlie Daniels came in field and he went, where's the support? And there was 2 Manchester United players in and around him. Rashford tracked him back, and then Herrera coming in from the side to try and win the ball. I give Bournemouth a bit of credit for all the injury problems that they've got. You know, they're the type of side that, you know, give you everything they've got. Defensively, they're obviously well short with the injuries, but going forward, they'll always create chances, half chances, and they're even pushing. Look how far up Rico is at the moment. If they can get the ball out to this left-hand side.
Here he is on the ball, played in by King. He's about 5 yards back from the edge of the area. When it comes through to Stanislas, he can't get it under control. Matic will take it now and get it out to Martial on the far side, and Manchester United will try and get it up the pitch. Lindelof is helping out here, and back to Martial. They're hemmed in by Bournemouth, and eventually it works its way back to Luke Shaw. He, under pressure, turns it back to the goalkeeper David De Gea, and then Manchester United look long for Lingard, who manages to pick it up. Comes a little bit deeper, turns, eyes darting everywhere, no one making a run for him in a forward area, so he goes short to Pogba, wider to Martial. He then continues his run, Jesse Lingard. Now it's with Pogba again, played into Martial, Pogba, Shaw makes a dart down the left side. Manchester United just a little bit pedestrian as the ball is clipped over the top. This time Lingard is going to be onside if he can get in behind the defender. Cook he does. He gets into the area. He's got support from Rashford. Rashford gets it back again. Manchester United go back out. Pogba, Martial, back to Pogba again. Patient build up this by Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's team. Rashford waiting. Urged to go forward by the crowd. Pogba into the box. Young's breached the lines. Offside flag is up.
Once again, it's the runner in behind, and it's that's offering the out ball for the Manchester United players. You can see clearly he went a little bit early there. Ashley Young, I was watching him a few moments ago, Young, and he looked like he had a little problem with his groin. He was just stretching off. Just wonder if Mike Phelan's in the technical area, whether they'll be keeping their eye on him just to see how fit or not that he is. I'll be surprised if United don't get another goal in this game. But likewise, I wouldn't be surprised if Bournemouth score.
Yeah.
If Bournemouth can get the ball wide and get some crosses into the box, then that is a way forward for them to get back into this game.
Well, if Manchester United do fancy another goal, then maybe Romelu Lukaku is the man to come off the bench and get it. He has an unbelievable scoring record against Bournemouth in particular, with 8 goals in 7 league games against them.
Would you change your shape though, or would you, bring off a Martial, maybe put... Oh, you wouldn't take Rashford off at the moment, would you?
Right now, I wouldn't take any of them off.
Yeah, no,
keep going.
But he wants to give some of these fringe players at the moment who've not had enough game time some minutes into their legs with some big important games coming up.
Yep, maybe Martial, who's been ill and missed the game on Boxing Day. Maybe Rashford, who's played every game so far under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Here is Pogba on halfway for Manchester United, who do have an FA Cup tie-up coming against Reading. That's in the offing, but Newcastle first away from home, and Rafa Benitez, he will certainly try to spoil and stifle at St James's Park. And then Spurs away. That's going to be the real test, isn't it, of the progress that Manchester United have made. Lovely ball again by Pogba, out to Young on this right side. He just didn't get on to the end of it this time, and Rashford, knowing how good the quality of that pass was, the vision that he had to produce it, applauds.
Just need a little bit more lemonade on it, a little bit of fade, in the golfing terms. He just didn't get enough cut on the ball to get it out to the right hand side. But Ashley Young, fitness level's very good. I said about the slight niggle he had earlier on. He's not got any effects of it at the moment. He's getting up and down this right hand side for United. He's always an out ball, isn't he?
A bit of lemonade.
Yeah, it's called fade.
The only Irishman who was born in Scotland, who lived in London, who speaks with Cockney rhyming slang. Here are the latest odds from Betfair, Sunday Exclusive's official betting partner on TalkSport. 80 to 1 on for Manchester United to win the game. The draw 30 to 1. Bournemouth 400 to 1. The correct score betting 3-1 is 11 to 4. 3-3 draw 25 to 1. Full terms and conditions are at betfair.com. 18+. Please gamble responsibly. Rashford's just done a lovely bit of skill on this near side, kept hold of the ball and drawn a foul from Rico. And quite rightly, the referee has very quickly drawn attention to it and given a free kick to Manchester United.
Yeah, nothing more than that though. There was a couple of little nibbles there. First one was from David Brooks, and then Rico came in just to finish the job off, bringing Rashford down. But he's a threat, isn't he? There's his strength. That's what you want to see from Rashford. If he's going to be the complete centre forward, he's got to learn how to hold off the opposition, protect the ball, bring his teammates into the game. And that lemonade comes from Andy Sullivan, the golfer, who's very much a Cockney lad, and that's one of the things he says when he plays. He hits a lemonade of fade.
Rashford is on this near side and has been a threat. His skill levels are very high, but he has been a little bit more liberated since the change of manager, I think. Here's Young, encouraged to do more of that. Young comes back in field and gives it to Herrera to Matic. They were a little bit tight there, Manchester United, and eventually been robbed of possession as a result of that. Just squeezed by Bournemouth. Here is Daniels to Stanislas. Now he's being squeezed by Matic, and Daniels tries to lift it over the top. Bailly should win this. He allowed it to bounce though, and Lindelof had to come in. Brooks forward. Now it's with King, left side, patrolling down the touchline. He tries to get the ball in field to Brooks once again, but Bailly blocks it this time. And then he's manhandled by Josh King. and a free kick given to Manchester United. So 26 minutes to go. You're listening to Talk Sport. It's going to be a double change here for Bournemouth. And is Dom McGuinness on the touchline for us today? I think he is. Dom, and you can see that they're going to make a change. What impact will it make, and who's coming on?
Well, I can tell you that Lys Mousset and also Ryan Fraser are both getting their final instructions now from Eddie Howe in that technical area. A technical area he has not left, and one that we've seen just one fleeting glance in the end of the first half of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So a double substitution for Bournemouth. They're going to try something, I suppose, you know, it's a real throw of the dice from Eddie Howe to try and get back in the game.
Well, if they were to get back into the game and score a goal, then, you know, you never know.
No, you don't. I've said that United have shown signs that they could be vulnerable defensively. Certainly, United on the attack now, though.
Here's Pogba picking it up and sending it on to Rashford, who's in the area. Goalkeeper comes out, big stop, an important stop. It might be a really important stop in the context of the game as the ball goes back in from Rashford. It's clipped away by Sermon and comes out on this near side and away for a throw. But if Begovic didn't stop that, and bearing in mind he conceded 5 of the 7 shots on target that he faced on Boxing Day, then that could have been real problems.
He done brilliantly, the keeper. You've got to give him enormous credit. I thought initially that Rashford was going to try and go around it, but I'm not sure there was enough space to do that, Sam. It was so tight. But the goalkeeper came out, narrowed the angle, forced him in to try and chip, and he just held his ground and made the save. But it came from a lovely threaded through ball from Pogba.
Details of the substitution, the changes, Dom McGuinness?
Well, it's Brooks and Wilson that make way for the two we mentioned before, Mousset and Fraser, so they've made that double change.
So Wilson off, and Fraser and Mousset on. Brooks has taken leave as well. So we'll see how they line up now. Here's Ashley Young on this near side after Bournemouth have given the ball back to Manchester United. A little back heel which tried to send Rashford down the right-hand side. Enthusiastic support all over the ground for Manchester United, who lead by 3 goals to 1. And just walking through the corridors at Old Trafford at half-time, speaking to Manchester United watchers, and everybody was in high spirits. Shaw winning the ball back brilliantly, high up the pitch, finding Pogba, who plays it square to Herrera. Out to Ashley Young now, who goes further on down the right-hand side. The feel-good factor certainly back. And that comes from a lot of things. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has included some youngsters in training. Angel Gomez, who came on in that game against Huddersfield on Boxing Day. Rashawn Williams, James Garner, doesn't like Jimmy. Mason Greenwood, DJ Buffon, all been looked at. Here's Herrera. Manchester United's tradition is something that they are keen to enhance. Here is Lingard looking for Rashford. Aki gets there first, but then Rashford wins it second. Then couldn't keep it under control. But listen to the Manchester United applause for the willing running that Rashford and Lingard were doing.
Yeah, I thought Lingard there just tried to be too precise with the through ball. There was so much space down this right channel he could have played the ball into and just angled it away from Aki and gave the advantage to Rashford to come across and win the ball.
Here's Mousset inside the area. Now, was he brought down by Matic there? Well, he didn't appeal. The ball was played down the right side by Jordan Ibe into the area. A leg came out from Matic. Mousset went down.
Did he win the ball, Matic? I mean, there's no complaints from Mousset at all, was it? Ibe with the through ball was actually a well-placed ball. Matic went for it. No, Mousset got to the ball first.
Here comes Cook down the right looking for King. King gets a decent effort in, but it's blocked by Bailly, who came across and after the volley from King managed to nudge it out and away for a corner.
Yeah, lovely play from Cook down that right flank there. He's played a good ball in. King's got away from Bailly initially. He's tried to flicker it just to get it across to here, and it was well blocked there by Bailly. Said Bournemouth are not out of this.
No.
Manchester United still look vulnerable defensively.
This is a key point in the game. Fraser with the free kick into the area. Cook with a header. It's away by Bailly. It was a high foot that by Bailly, and someone has been caught by it. Charlie Daniels has gone down. Now the referee is now going over to Daniels. Is he going to make a decision which is going to irk Manchester United? No. He's going to check that he's okay, and he's going to play a drop ball.
Yeah, I think what happened there is as he cleared it by, it's just a follow through cut, Charlie Daniels, but there's no intent at all.
It was a high foot though.
It was a high foot, but I mean, I think he's got every right to go and clear it. I think Charlie Daniels was one who was a little bit late as the ball went up the air. He went for it. It just the follow through, wasn't it? I wouldn't be given a penalty for that. I mean, you looked at me with those eyes of yours to say, are you sure? I think as he clears it,
his foot goes above Charlie Daniels'
head. He's actually got him on the shoulder, on reflection, yeah, with that follow through.
That's a penalty.
Yeah, on reflection, it didn't look that bad when you see it from a different angle. But when it shows you the slow-mo, by the way, the referee hasn't got that slow-mo. Nor was the assistant over the far side.
But he's standing about 3 yards from it, and his legs in the air above the head of Charlie Daniels.
It was a bit reckless, wasn't it, from by as he went to clear it with his foot as high as it was.
I think that goes down as endangering the safety of an opponent.
Yeah.
Let's go down to the touchline. Another substitution. Here's TalkSport's Don McGuinness.
Well, a standing ovation for Marcus Rashford, who's left the field. He's going straight down the tunnel as well, which suggests that he's got something slightly amiss with him. Romelu Lukaku, I should say, is on. So that change there from Solskjaer. Lukaku on. It'd be interesting to see if Lukaku's benefited from Solskjaer, as Rashford apparently has. Of course, Solskjaer was a striker coach here, working with Ronaldo, Tevez and Rooney. That was his first gig here at United post-retirement.
Well, Lukaku is on. Rashford is getting an applause as he goes down towards the Stretford end and down the tunnel, which is in the corner here at Old Trafford. Lukaku back from compassionate leave. 8 goals in 7 league games against Bournemouth, 6 goals this season. Keen to add to that, I would feel.
Been a better spell for Bournemouth now, isn't it? You know, they've had the chance for King, which was set up by Cook with a cross, when Bailly got his body in the way there to make the clearance, and then obviously the last challenge. On reflection, when you look at it from a certain angle, you just see how high the foot of Bailly was as he cleared it, and there's no doubt he cleared it. His follow through caught Charlie Daniels on the top of his shoulder.
Here is Lindelof, up to Lukaku, back to Herrera, and then on to Pogba, out wide to Martial. Manchester United coming forward. I'm sure Eddie Howe will have something to say about that. Lukaku trying to hold on to it. Aki gets the better of him. Lukaku fights for it once again. And he's a different type of forward, Romelu Lukaku, to Marcus Rashford, who is a relentless, willing runner.
Well, he's more dynamic, isn't he, Rashford? He's certainly physical. You would say that that's Lukaku's game, where he wants to try and bully the 2 centre-halves, or 3 centre-halves as it is out there for Bournemouth.
So ball played over the top by Pogba into Lukaku. He's onside here. Can he get his foot around the ball? He can, and he sends it beyond Asmir Begovic. And it's a really good finish from Romelu Lukaku. Straight off the bench into the thick of the action and scoring the clinching goal for Manchester United. Forget the new year being rung in. The bells that are clanging are the alarm bells for Bournemouth, who have conceded 4 again.
Well, I thought Nathan Aki just stepped up to try and play Lukaku offside, but I'm not sure Steve Cook just dropped at the wrong time to play him on. It was a really tight goal. The ball just threaded through, but once he went through, you never felt he was going to miss. You said about his record against Bournemouth, absolutely exceptional, and he's added to it once again. But it looked a really tight decision. Ball played forward, he won the initial header. I think it's Martial with the ball back to Pogba. Little ball over the top.
Oh, he's offside.
Yeah, well, see how I thought that. My first reaction was offside, and the assistant wasn't in line with it, and that was why I thought he was in an offside position. It's a real tight one, because if you watch Aki, he knows that he's behind us. So he steps up, and it's Steve Cook who just dropped off a little bit. It's a really tight decision, but a very good finish from the acute angle.
You're listening to Manchester United 4, Bournemouth 1 on TalkSport with Now TV. Treat yourself to Manchester United against Bournemouth. The final stage is live right now with a Now TV Sky Sports Day Pass.
Well, certainly Pogba's had his impact today, isn't he? 2 goals and that through ball there.
2 assists, 2 goals.
No, it was Martial with the ball through, wasn't it? For the
oh, it was for the...
and give him that one as well.
Well, he's got everything else. He might as well have it.
Well, no, all he needs now, and you will tell me this, that man, when was his last hat-trick?
He's never scored one for Manchester United.
There you go. Well, that's what's on offer.
So he will be certainly desperate to complete that. Manchester United will too. Jose Mourinho will probably be looking at this and he'll be saying, these decisions never went for me. Well, if it was him in charge, they would have got that penalty, Bournemouth, and that goal would have been ruled off.
Yeah, but okay, you might be quite right there. The Manchester United have scored 5 goals once since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Once, and all the managers, Moyes, Van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and that was against Cardiff. They're on the cusp of doing it again, and that's 2 in 3 games.
They've scored 12 goals in 3 matches. And, you know, everyone kept saying it was dull coming here, it was boring, there was no joy, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, the joy is very much back. Look at the way that Lukaku and Pogba celebrated. The smiles are on their faces again. But ultimately, Manchester United may still have some work to do. The goals speak for themselves. Here's Martial running towards the edge of the area, playing it into Lingard. Lingard gets it stuck under his feet, pulls it back, gives it to Pogba. Hat-trick moment, hits the post and comes back out. The offside flag comes up.
Right, took a little bit too long, Lingard, to get it to Pogba initially, and it wasn't the best of strikes. It sort of bobbled, didn't it? Went over the hand of Begovic, off the post. Normally they go in. Come cannon straight off the upright, back to Luke Shaw, who was in an offside position.
I think Begovic might have got a touch on that. And that would go down as a very good save. Another change for Manchester United. Here's Don McGuinness.
Well, Andreas Pereira is going to come on, which will just back up Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. What he said on Friday in the press conference, he will give youth a chance. Gomez has already proved that with a few minutes. He's going to give the young players that haven't had much of a look in certainly more of a run out. So Pereira's going to come off, and it's Ander Herrera who makes way. Again, a standing ovation for Herrera. He always gives his all, and the crowd, well, he's very much a favourite, even though maybe not an elite player. They very much like him here. So Pereira on for Herrera.
Such is the noise inside this arena. I haven't got a clue what Don McGuinness has said. Has he finished? Yeah, he has. Good.
I think he said, was it Pereira on and and Herrera's got off. Yeah, there we go.
Pereira for Herrera. Andreas Pereira is back
a few weeks ago, you could have heard the fans saying how bad the team.
Dom's down by the touchline. I could have heard him from here. Not anymore. Such is the shift in mood at Old Trafford. Listen to this Manchester United crowd now. Luke Shaw's got a bit of an issue over on the far side, just getting some treatment. That's why there's a pause in play. Young just going to have a word with Andreas Pereira just to make sure that everybody knows their duty.
You know the other thing, Sam, you notice the grounds as well. When it's a one-sided affair like it is score-wise at the moment, and we were 10 minutes or thereabouts to go, you normally see the gangways and the exit signs of, you know, a lot of people leaving to beat the traffic. Nothing of the sort here. You know, it's still full to capacity, fans thoroughly enjoying it, and this is what they wanted to see.
There might be more in it, that's why. Lukaku trying to get the better of Aki. He goes across to him. Aki does well, actually. Lukaku continuing to run down into the left corner of the field.
See how they love that? See how they just love a bit of passion, a bit of commitment, a bit of drive, go and win the ball. He probably hasn't done that for a while, Lukaku, and all of a sudden you hear the noise in the stadium from the supporters. Basics, very simple things that fans want to see.
Well, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is only on loan from Molde, but he's made an impact already. He said he's still got the club interests at heart. He plans to convince Martial and De Gea to commit to longer-term deals. Both elapse at the end of the season. He would like to sign a longer-term deal, I think, as well, but there's still a long road to go. It's only match 3. The opponents and the fixture list have been kind. Decisions have gone their way. Tougher tests lay ahead on a rocky road, but it's a perfect start. It really is a perfect start.
I'll give you another cliche of the ones you've been using there. You can only be as good as the opposition you're up against. You know, everyone says, oh, well, they've been fortunate with the teams that you've played. You know, everyone has got to play against Cardiff, everyone has to go to play against Huddersfield, everyone has to play against Bournemouth in this league, funny enough. And Bournemouth have beat 8 teams already this season.
Too many cliches for you there, were there, Ray? Here's Lukaku trying to find Martial.
The old nonsense. It's only you're fortunate with the teams you played against. Come on, give them a bit of credit for what they've done. 12 goals.
Hey, I've been giving them credit.
Have you?
I've been there. I've watched all 3 games live, and you know,
don't tell
thoroughly enjoying it.
He'll be getting you every game now.
Yeah, well,
your lucky mascot.
Here is Masic on the halfway line, trying to turn now. Just looking to find Martial, sprinting in behind the defence, doesn't reach him, goes through to the goalkeeper. By the way, did you know that Manchester United paid more to loan Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as a manager than they did to buy him off Molde in 1996 as a player?
I didn't even hear that there was a fee.
Yeah, 1.8 million quid it cost for them to loan him. That was a late challenge. Andreas Pereira has got a red card.
No, that's Bailly.
Was it Bailly?
Yeah, Bailly's got him with the challenge.
Straight red card. Oh dear.
Yeah.
And it is a red card for Eric Bailly. Andreas Pereira was looking perplexed at it. Ashley Young's now gone to protest, but Eric Bailly, who's only just got back into the team, they're going to have to make a different change now. They're about to bring on Fellaini. They're not going to do that now. Ryan Fraser just nudged the ball away from Bailly. It was late by him.
He looked two-footed. That's the problem. He looked two-footed. That's the thing.
He left the ground.
You know, it's that scissor challenge as well, Sam, isn't it? And Fraser's gone right over the top of him. I mean, why is he making that on the halfway line? You know, he just lets his teammates down. Yeah, I mean, there's absolutely no need. You wonder what goes through players' minds when they make challenges like that. I mean, he's getting applauded off from the Man United fan. I wouldn't be applauded, I've got to be honest with you. I'm looking at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He's absolutely fuming. And the game that they're going to coast through, maybe they'll be looking to get another goal. All of a sudden now, 4-1, he's out for a few games, needlessly going in there and making a rash challenge for absolutely no reason.
Well, let's be honest, he could have been in trouble for the high kick, which he could have given the penalty away for.
Yeah, over in the far corner. And
there was another challenge over there in the first half, which was a bit over-exuberant. So there's 3 incidents now in which he could have been carded for.
Yeah, but one of his teammates has got to just tell him to calm down. You know, that's what you got to do. It's only a quick word in his ear and say, look, listen, stay on your feet. You know, in that area of the field, on the halfway line, they're not posing us any problems.
Is that a player who's been out, you know, he went missing?
No, that's a player who's not thinking. That's, to me, that's.
So it's not someone trying to impress after being out for a long time?
That's not impressing, isn't it? Getting a red card. Well, who are you impressing? You're not impressing anybody.
In his mind, he might be thinking, I need to go in full-blooded to get everybody on my side.
Game manage. That's what you've got to do. You're 4-1 up. You've got 9 minutes of the game left. A game that you're going to coast. And then all of a sudden you're reckless and you don't make the challenge that you did.
Well, here's the change, and they had to adapt it, Don McGuinness.
Yeah, they did. So the sacrificial lamb is Anthony Martial. Again, gets a great ovation. Phil Jones will come on for the final knockings, and there's going to be another change. Tyrone Mings will come on for Bournemouth, but the board hasn't gone up yet. Well, we know now that he's going to come on for Nathan Ake, who has appeared to struggle with a bit of a hamstring problem for most of that second half, but he's managed to weather it up until now. But that change has been made now. Mings on for Ake. Jones is replacing Martial.
Another injury for Bournemouth.
Yeah, Ake out. You wouldn't want him out for any length of time. We were the injury list that Bournemouth have got.
Manchester United 4, Bournemouth 1, but they're down to 10 men now on TalkSport with Just Eat Football Food, living the dream.
But see, with that red card, sorry, Sam, what that also means is Martial has to be brought off. Yeah. Or you've got to bring on another defender. That's the knock-on effect.
Well, the knock-on effect as well is that he's going to miss probably 3 games for a challenge like that. Well, it's definitely going to miss the next one. Here is Matic. Oh, it's robbed by Luis Mousset. And then it picks up by Junior Stanislas, who's trying to wander to the edge of the area. Pogba's gone back to help out, picked up the ball, and now he's running forward, and he's got loads of green grass to run into. He moves it out to the left. Lingard takes over now. He just checks his run and turns and comes back into centre field, gives it to Pogba, and now that rejigged back line of Shaw, Lindelof, Jones and Young hold on to possession and look to try and funnel it forward. Again, Manchester United leading by 4 goals to 1 on TalkSport. And remember, the darts follows us at 7 o'clock tonight.
And what a night of darts we've got as well. Aspinall against Smith, isn't it? And then the big one, Van Gerwen.
You'll be listening to that on your way home, won't you?
Absolutely, yes.
Here is Lingard, back out to the left. Gets it back to Pereira. Pereira wanders towards the edge of the area, gets into the box, tries to pop it forward, plays it straight at Tyrone Mings, and Tyrone Mings gets into the right wing position, clears, but only as far as Luke Shaw. Shaw turns back, gives it to Pereira. Manchester United keeping hold of possession here. Bournemouth about to suffer a 5th straight Premier League away defeat. That will be a new club record for them. Here's Lingard towards the edge of the box looking for Lukaku, stopped by Sermon, Ibe away, picked up by Mousset, and then Bournemouth will bring it clear. They'll probably have more of the ball now, Bournemouth, but Manchester United have got themselves into such a elevated position. They lead by 4 goals to 1. They're now in a mode where they can cruise towards the final whistle, despite the fact that they're down to 10 men. Chested down by Lukaku. Lingard. Back to Pereira. It's actually something that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was talking about. You know, in situations like this, you've got to be able to apply game management correctly.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, that's what it's about, game management, and that's why you look so disappointed when he seen the red card there for the needless challenge that he made. Spoiled, which is going to be another very, very good win for them, putting pressure on the teams above them. That's what they needed to do.
Pogba, Lukaku, Pogba again still waiting for that hat-trick, onto Lingard. Lingard, who's on the left edge of the area, run from Pereira into the box unspotted. Pogba under pressure manages to get away from King. He looks so calm on the ball now, Pogba, doesn't he? Never ruffled, just back in control. And the swagger has returned. Lukaku, Pogba, Lingard. And that was a dicey challenge from Pogba, who went flying in. The referee blew the whistle very quickly.
Yeah, they just came from overindulging there, wasn't it? You know, a little step over and then he lunged into your challenge. He's lucky he never really caught Moussi there.
At the other end, Stanislas trying to come forward, blocked by Pereira. Manchester United just seeing out the game now. They have had a good 10 days since the dismissal of Jose Mourinho, haven't they? With 3 straight wins under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But Newcastle to come. Reading in the Cup at home, Spurs away, Brighton at home, Burnley at home. You know,
the 3 games that you mentioned since Jose's left, you know, Cardiff, Huddersfield, and now this one, I think under Jose they still would have won them, but would they have won them as convincingly as they have? That's the question. And would they have played the sort of football that they have?
Well, we'll never know. There's Andrew Sermon, edge of the D, trying to shoot towards the far corner. Goalkeeper goes diving across, but it was never troubling him.
Yeah, he had it covered, didn't he?
Goes behind and away for a goal kick. The interesting thing is that it's not just about the football, really, is it? It's also the mood. The mood has completely shifted.
Yeah.
You walk around that Old Trafford tunnel, you spend time behind the scenes here, you just see everyone smiling, everyone chatting, everyone sharing thoughts about what they've seen over the last couple of days. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, and even there, if you look in the director's box, Scott McTominay's just gone down there, and you can just see, and even the ex-players, you know, have been here in ambassadorial roles.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you can see with their faces that it's illuminated. You know, they're like, yeah, we're back on song, we're back winning football matches. The swagger's back. More belief that they can finish the season well. But they're going to have a lot of tough games along the way, but that goes without saying.
And I don't know if you've noticed this, but I've been here quite a lot this season, and it hasn't always been full. But it was full today.
And it's just the
it was
noise.
on Boxing Day.
And it's a noise as well, Sam, though, isn't it? You know, they're enjoying the football.
Here is Pogba, out to the left, and Lingard. Lingard now a yard in from the touchline, trying to motor down that left-hand side. Daniels goes across to meet him. He's got Shaw for backup now, who goes on the overlap and picks up the ball. Lukaku waiting in the centre. Shaw declines to cross and goes back to Pogba instead. Pogba, who's had to play deeper since Herrera was replaced, sends the ball back to halfway. And sitting next to Scott McTominay today was the United coach Mark Dempsey, who has worked with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer before. They brought him back this week. He sat next to us actually on Boxing Day before getting involved in training this week. He noticed an intensity at Carrington which we have seen in the matches. Ball cleared away by De Gea, wasn't the best of clearances. Pogba was, again, a little bit casual and almost gave the ball away just before that in a passage of play. He's got it again now, running towards the halfway line, 2.5 minutes to go. Still searching for his hat-trick and surging down the left side now. Turns and gets as far up the pitch as he probably needs to drag Bournemouth away from the danger zone, and then turns and goes back again. And again, that's just sensible senior play by someone who cost them 90 million quid, so should be capable of it.
Yeah, but that's the consistency you're looking for. The last 3 matches that Pogba's been involved in, he's looked a threat. He got his desire back when he's getting forward. He looks like he's got to score goals for you. I think his record, I've seen, Sam, I've seen him prior to today, was at 76 Premier League games. He'd scored 16 goals. That was the sort of record that I've seen from him, which, you know, for a midfield player isn't that bad, but when you're someone like him, you're expecting a little bit more higher up the field.
He got 6 goals last season, 10 assists. He's already now got 9 goals this campaign for Manchester United, which is pretty impressive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah, absolutely. Maybe that was including his previous matches with Manchester United. There's only a stat that I've seen today, and I was just looking at that as a return, and I thought that wasn't that bad. You know, it's just under 1 in 5, isn't it?
Well, he's only really scored 8-9 goals per season, really, for Juventus.
Just got through his man of the match stats again here, similar to the ones that you brought up against Huddersfield, I think, where he's got 2 goals first, shots 4 first, shots on target 4 first, and then obviously assists as well.
It's Pogba trying to find Lukaku, who's running at Cook and Mings, but he's offside, apparently. Didn't look offside. Flagged by the assistant on the near touchline, and we've got 40 seconds of normal time to play. You're listening to TalkSport. We're live at Old Trafford, where Manchester United have produced another display, and it is very much out with the old, in with the new here as we approach 2019.
I like that from De Gea, though. You know, you're 4-1 up and you're running the clock down at the moment. You're into the last few seconds.